Well, Happy New Year again to everybody. I told you the last video was the last video, but obviously after a win at Mohawk here on Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, I thought I'd give you one more, just one more. But this is the last one, I promise. It's 10:52 at night. I went up to the dining room, had a nice dinner with John and Julia, and we watched most of the races. Obviously very happy with the way Eldest Patrick raced. I knew the other day when I trained him that he was probably sitting on a good mile. He was a little ornery tonight coming out of the gate. We had taken the hood off him and put earplugs on him. I thought that was the reason he was hot, and we wouldn't find out till later on that it wasn't just the only reason. I'll get to that in a minute. Warmed up So and Sue. She was really hot in the warm-up. Eldest Patrick warmed up good, but in the race was hot. So and Sue was really hot. I knew something was up with her. You know, you guys just don't know how much it plays a role and plays havoc with a filly and the mares this time of year when it's warm and then cool and then warm and then cool. Now a horse like So and Sue, when you interrupt her training and racing schedule to cryo a curb and give her a couple of weeks off, it's not always that easy for them, especially her. She leads a very structured life, and when you disorganize her training schedule, things like this will happen. But I think it was more the weather. You saw it with Globetrotting. Couldn't really figure it out with Globetrotting the other day. You know, winning 54 with the earplugs in and then look abysmal her next start. It was really frustrating. We pretty much knew what had taken place. We did draw our blood, and sure enough, her AST was 7,000. She had tied up, you know, Christmas holidays. Didn't jog on that Saturday. It was Christmas. Sunday jogged a little bit, raced on Monday. Terrible. You know, when you interrupt horses' schedules like that, it's problematic. It almost makes me believe that maybe we should just skip the whole week. Maybe that's food for thought for 2022. But when it comes to these fillies and mares, this weather, the interruption in their schedule, it can really cause a problem, and it certainly did today. Eglariam tied up the other day. Not bad, but tied up the other day. The known offenders are the ones you really got to watch this time of year. Globetrotting, Eglariam, and now So and Sue. We scoped her after she was clean. I can guarantee you she tied up. How high, I don't know. I hope it's not outrageously high, but we'll know, I guess, Monday, Tuesday, when the clinics open up again. We'll get a better look at her blood work and, more importantly, her muscle count. Now, something that was very strange, not that shocking. When I heard the news, I wasn't surprised. We scoped Eldest Patrick after the race also. You may say, why would you scope a horse that looks so good? Because I wanted to know. I want to know how he was working tonight. He bled 3 out of 5. That's a lot of blood. So it wasn't on Lasix. Now, a number of things go into his bleeding. Last week, James drove him. He was a little more easy on him. Today, he was really bully and hot with me, and I let him dance the third quarter, 27 and a piece. You know, did he spring a leak? Probably, yeah. Could we mitigate that in the future? Maybe. But he bled. So I think the easiest way to go about it is exactly what we did. We put him on the Lasix program. After his win, after his race, he went on the Lasix program. Now, we have a certain set of protocols, a certain, it's a wonderful word, a certain way we do things with White Tiger is on Lasix, but he has also bled through Lasix in the past. He doesn't now because we know how to mitigate it. I think we're going to put this guy on the same schedule afterwards. Rather than giving them a bag with vitamins, electrolytes with vitamins in it, an infusion bag, IV bag from the vet, we do it after the race, not leading up to the race. Just small things that may not make sense to you or may not, people may not think are important. They really are, and they do make quite a difference. That's how we handle White Tiger now. It's the same way we're going to start to handle Eldest Patrick. A little bit of potassium powder throughout the week in their feed. These are, again, small things that go a long way. But how good is Eldest Patrick? Here's a horse that just crushed them in 56. No, it wasn't a cold night, but it was December. It wasn't a great night either. The track's sticky. It's not a fantastic night. He went out winning 56 for the third quarter and 27 and a piece. He was hot, but he was hot because he's probably bleeding a little bit, right? You'll note that bleeders, they don't act like, you see horses that are bleeders. For those of you horsemen, I say that a lot, but you know what I'm talking about. Bleeders get a little hotter at the start. They get a little hotter at the quarter. It's almost like they know what's coming, right? And as you start to, as I said, mitigate that and dry them up a little bit more and put them in a position where they don't bleed, you're going to see a much more productive, consistent animal. Super impressed with Eldest Patrick. Now, I'm not saying he's going to go out and trot in 53, but I do think he's going to be able to do in the Nalmers of 3 or Nalmers of 4. Here was a horse that was pretty loose tonight, right? He fought with me for 3/8 of a mile till finally I just said, all right, enough's enough. I got him backed up to half in 58, and I said, all right, away you go. I'm not pulling on you anymore. And away we went. Now, we can change that. A number of things will help Eldys Patrick. Tonight was a very telling race for this horse in our barn, and I think he's only going to get better moving forward. So a very good night, a very good year, a great end of the year. I know, guys, my partners on So and Sue, you don't want to see that. But at the same time, what are you going to do? We didn't change anything. We did everything we could the same we could. Christmas Day really screwed everything up, especially for a filly that got that curb crowd. Did she tie up on the Monday on the wheel after Christmas? I don't think what you saw tonight started tonight. The blood work will tell the tale on if we can get it Monday, it will really tell the tale of what took place with So and Sue. But I can almost guarantee you she tied up. How bad, we'll know on Monday, and then we'll move on. Globetrotting's blood is coming back to normal soon. I don't know if she's going to miss another week or not. We'll know this week. Eldys Patrick, 14 days now to go on the Lasix program. I'm okay with that. And then So and Sue tied up a little bit also. And Glariam was just about to start training. That just pushes her schedule back a week. It's not a big deal. So, with that, I'm going back to the barn right now. I'm going to check on some horses. Going to make sure our sick ones that were a little sick the last couple of days are feeling better. If they have temperatures, got to give them a little anti-inflammatories. Now is an important time to do it at 11 o'clock at night, because I went back the other day at 7:30. Their temperatures seem normal, but it's another 12 hours until you check them again. And a couple of them, they get up around 102, 103. I don't want to see them like that. Nobody wants to have a headache in the morning. So go back now. 4 horses in particular, nothing serious, but if they have a spike temperature, I'll give them a little anti-inflammatory right now. So with that, Happy New Year, everybody. It's been a great 2021, and here is to a wonderful 2022. Take care.